Welcome to the coffee talk with salty Vixens where diving into deep thoughts, no topics to air.
Welcome to Salty Vixen's Coffee Talk, a place where I talk about what is on a Salty Vixen's mind. I'm an author, I'm a musician, and a mother, and I am the founder of Salty Vixen brand. Today's episode is titled Prince Harry Saved Me. And you're going, wait, what is with the title? He's not Superman. He didn't come to my house and save me from all the things that's going on in my life. Well, he did in a way, but not with superpowers. He saved me from his book that he published earlier in the year, last year, called Spare. And you all know what that book of Spare is about. It had a ghostwriter, but is talking about Harry's anxiety and his panic attacks. And of course, I knew Harry personally from Polo 2004 when I was a non-playing member at Beaufort Polo Club, but also when I was a patron for Sentebale. And I knew Harry had panic attacks, and Harry and I are a lot alike, and I think it's why I gravitated towards him when I met him in 2004. I saw the way some of Prince William's friends were treating him. For example, one person in the inner circle, Moore Williams' friend, he had a house party in honor of Harry. Well, Harry was not in the country. He was in Africa, I think, at the time. And so he invited all these women at this local college, a high school in definition of America. And they were, I think, at their last year. And so, and these guys were in their early 20s. And I was 23 at the time. And so I found it kind of odd. They're inviting high schoolers to this house party, and it was in honor of Prince Harry. Now, obviously, Harry did not know this was going on, but they were actually mocking Harry behind his back. And I mean, about three of them in the inner circle. One's a polo player, one is a Chuck Bass, from Gossip Girl, like same personality. And the other ones were just kind of hanging around. And, but yeah, it was very interesting party. And I remember I was stopping the Argentine polo players who one of the polo players brought over to the party from harassing the other girls, these high schoolers. And so the owner of the house party, the host of that, was pissed off, like royally angry, called me a bitch because I stopped people from having fun, aka shagging. I'm like, they're in high school and you're in your 20s. I don't get what age of consent here is in England, but this is not right. And they did not want this unwanted harassment. Yeah, I think I was the first woman, I would say, in a very long time that spoke very candidly that what they're doing is wrong. And I will tell you, when I show up to Polo one day, the expectations were for me to have sex with everyone. And I declined that. And so I remember the one polo player, he's like, but I got you membership and you owed me. I said, I don't owe you anything. I came to polo for me. Meeting William and Harry was a bonus, but I didn't expect to meet them. I was just enjoying life and going to polo matches and the awesome parties. But yeah, it was a very weird summer. And I remember when I met Harry, 25 July 2004 at Cartier International Polo, it was a China White party. And I had met him at a polo match, I think weeks prior to that, but really sitting down at the table and talking to him. And I remember I was so angry at the mutual polo player for his behavior, how he was treating me throughout the summer. Anyway, so Harry was talking about starting this charity, which would be called Sentebale. And years later, I became a patron. I think from 2013 to 2016, I was patron for Sentebale. I got to go to Lesotho. I got to go to opening in Mamahado Center. Beautiful experience. Harry and I got in an argument. He called me a fan because I broke his wine glass, which he was not supposed to have outside. And I apologized. I'm sitting there like, why am I apologizing? He's screaming at me for bringing a wine glass outside that he should never have done. And I actually broke it. He was very upset, and then he apologized a couple of days later at Beaufort Polo Club in South Africa by sticking his tongue down my throat because that's all he knew what apologies were. And, it was my birthday at that point. So I was like, well, happy birthday to me. I just got French kissed by Harry. I still think James Mead's a better kisser. Sorry, Harry. All right, so you want to know why I brought up the whole thing, why Spare saved me? Well, my mental health. I've been talking candidly about my mental health, my ups and downs for about a good year. And a lot of it is because I'm an introvert and I keep my feelings bottled up, just like Harry keeps his feelings bottled up. A lot of introverts do because, we grew up in a household that's very old school where, our grandparents and parents say, well, shit happens. Don't keep it bottled up. Go play tennis, go for a run, go play music or whatever and move on. And when you're an introvert and an empath like Harry is and I am, moving on is the worst thing you could tell somebody. In fact, it makes things 10 times worse because now it's consuming you. And when you see that person that, hurt you, you're going, I want to tell you how I feel, but you moved on, probably forgot, but I haven't. And Harry, he had walked away from all of that. And of course, the media was saying, oh, Harry and Meghan did this. I mean, you see it on social media, the vultures, of people saying things, but they don't know the full story. I mean, Meghan did come to the picture. I never met Meghan. I knew people who knew of her. I know, like, her first name is Rachel. I'm Rachel. I have a joke that Harry only knew 2 American girls named Rachel. And but I never fancied Harry. That was the thing. I actually pulled out being a page for Sentebale the 18th June 2016 because, actually at Beaufort, ironically, because of Harry's behavior. I was just tired of not being able to speak up because there was a lot going on. Like, I saw the person who partied in your circle who had sexually assaulted me at actually Beaufort Polo Club, 18th June 2004, 10:45 p.m. on the grandstands. So if you see the Getty Images photo of me where I had blonde hair, like white blonde hair, wearing a red dress, I was kind of like in a state of shock. They just found or saw that person I hadn't seen in a long time, never expected to see him again, the one who had sexually assaulted me. And I was tired of like how Harry did not have a voice for himself. And I've been saying for a long time, Harry needs to find his voice. He needs to speak up. And thank God he did. Yeah, writing the book probably wasn't the right way to do it. But you know what? He finally is speaking up. And as a result, it got me thinking, well, gee, I have my podcast. I have my bedtime stories with Salty Vixen, Spicy Audio, but that's just playtime, I have a website, but I really didn't know where to go from there because we're living in the digital age. And it's great to have a really cool digital magazine, but I need to find use for a podcast to speak up. And that's what this Coffee Talk podcast is all about. And I founded it a few months ago. But yeah, when S.A.ed came out, I read a little bit of it. He mentioned the person who sexually assaulted me in that book. And that's when my mind was going, oh my God, the trauma is coming back. And wait, it was good because it got me to write a book that where I took this summer 2004, made a really hot BDSM story out that haven't published it yet. It will be soon. I hope this coming summer. Just because I got too emotionally involved with the character. So I had to walk away. As authors, you don't want to get too emotionally involved because when you do, and if that person reads it, they're going, oh my God, you're writing about me. So you kind of like walk away. And so that's what I did. And I want to make the book even better than it was before. So, it's coming along on that. But it wasn't just polo. It was everything that's happened to me for me not speaking up. And my friends on Facebook were going, oh my God, Rachel, like what is going on? You're having your ups and downs. Like you need to get over it. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And I was on this cycle of what became complex PTSD of triggers, these emotional triggers. And I couldn't like pinpoint them because it was a lot. The problem was I did not have a voice growing up with my peers. And that's a part of it. And of course, the root is through the person that caused complex PTSD in middle school. That's what, 93, 94 school year. And, as a result, my whole life from that point on, I was shy and timid and hard to have a voice. And I wish I could have gone back in time. I think that's why the complex PTSD to go, it's not cool what you did. You accused me of something, but I couldn't speak up. And of course, I talked about my sexting relationship, how I got into that. And to be honest, I was over for a very long time until I was being cyberstalked. Like, what the hell? Leave me alone. And so this is where it gets better. And so I decided 2024 is going to be a year of healing from all the crap that happened to me. So I wrote music. I finally got all these emotions out. I continued to work on my writing and continue to grow my brand and got some awesome feedback from people. And thank you, fans out there. And I removed a lot of toxic things in my life, except the trauma too. And this is the story. I accidentally clicked on one of the profiles. I did accidentally. It's a pending, LinkedIn. And I was like, well, if they add me, cool. If they don't, because I was kind of curious at the same time. Are they like still mad at me when they did not know the full story? Oh, he blocked me. And then he got the other brother to block me. And I was like, you are so like have this horrible hatred when you don't know the full story. Salty Vixen didn't come from the sexing gate. It came from England. It came from James Mead. If anybody, he should get claps for that because he is the one who is a founding thing about Salty Vixen. I remember uttering the words, I'm a vixen in a salty situation. I wrote in my freaking diary. I still have the diary. The sexting gate was just icing on the cake because I was suffocating from bottling up my emotions. And of course, the middle one told me I had no right to speak up. That's what affected me because I'm sitting there, I'm like, you don't know the full story. And then I realized the eldest one had threw me on a bus so bad and made me something that I'm not. And it wasn't just, lying about the situation. I think that he generally told people that I made it all up. And they thought I made it up. They think like I'm going crazy. And it's like, that's not the full story. And I think part of it is, and I think Harry and anyone else has been in that trauma situation, people don't want to listen for the truth. They rather believe the lies than the truth. And unfortunately, when you're an empath and an introvert, the truth about the situation, because you can't speak up because no one wants to hear you, it's consuming you and it's eating you up. And the best way to let it go is to talk about it. But how can you talk about it when nobody will listen, And so a lot of us introverts, we create these podcasts. The podcast is what saved us. So I found it funny that they blocked me and after all these years, and it was such a relief. And it happened actually yesterday on December 31st. I was like, thank God, after 35 plus years of the trauma I had to deal with all of them, it's gone. I'm done. Never have to deal with it again. And it was such a blessing. And it's unfortunate that they couldn't talk to me. They had to block me and find out everything. But you know what? They're very immature, in my opinion. I mean, that's just how I feel about the situation. I don't want to talk about it anymore. That's the thing. I have 100% moved on from that. And I think a lot of people don't realize when you are talking about something on repeat, it's not the fact that we're dwelling on the past. We've moved on from that. It's the mere fact, like we just feel, like I said earlier, we're not listened to and you haven't fully listened to. And the problem is, it's not you, the friend, or you, the listener. It's the person who's involved and the person that caused the trauma. And one great thing I did was I messaged him, the origin of my trauma, about all the shit at the fan, sexting gate. And I told him how I felt. I didn't care if he saw it. He saw it. And I said to him, you took advantage of my kindness. Why? And that was a powerful statement for me. And I feel powerful. And I said, you are not the reason my pen name is from all the shit that's happened to me my whole life. And you were just icing on the cake. And I said, I don't want to be bothered anymore from you or the family. I want to be left alone. But I want this hatred, this beef to go away because we're older now. Like, who cares? Move on from that. But I honestly think that the other two that blocked me, I honestly think they have in their head that I'm obsessed with this dude. I'm not. I was over him for a very long time. And I wish they would understand it. But at the same time, it doesn't matter anymore. You move on. So yes, Harry's book, S.A.ed, did save me, got me to open up about my mental health struggles, got me to open up emotionally, and it helped me understand what Salty Vixen was founded on, to remind myself to never let people take advantage of my kindness again. See, Salty Vixen means love and kindness, but once you go beyond that, it's a fucking awesome brand, a good pen name, and I'm proud of what I have accomplished on my own. Look, I'm a full-time single mother, and I gotta do what I can to put food on the table to survive. So Salty Vixen has nothing to do with any of those buttheads. It has to do with me gaining confidence, me growing. And I will tell Harry one day, because I still have to write that letter to him for my mental health, something I've been wanting to say to him for a very, very long time. Like I said, I don't care if he sees it or not. I will be writing it. I'm going to put it more in my professional way, put a PR package together of writing samples. And I can't wait to tell it, because that is growth for me to say, Harry, I finally moved on. Thank you for S.A.ed, but this is stuff that, I need to say this to get out of my system. And I hope to be a patron again for Sentebale. That's my ultimate goal. I miss being part of that. I miss my charity work. Anyways, the point is of this whole podcast is I was not me for a long time, but because of Prince Harry's book, S.A.ed, I unraveled all that emotional drama in my mind, and it's gone. It's flushed out in 2024. The door's been closed on trauma. And now it's time for positivity and grow from there on, this point on. So, yeah, I'm still single. It sucks. The update about the Lying Boyfriend podcast that I made, I thought I would update with you with that. Yeah, we had a date scheduled for Sunday a few days ago. He stood me up once again. So he always would make dates and constantly cancel. And it's got to the point, it's just, why? What are you hiding? I ain't hiding anything, he said. He finally, after ignoring me for a few days, finally got back to me, and he's like, I don't want that relationship I had with, my ex. I'm like, but I'm not your ex. Are you saying because I was sad? I mean, you literally had a date planned. I got ready for that. You stood me up again. And of course I got sad. I did kind of bitch you out a little bit because you do this every time for nearly a year. I don't know why I put up with it. He's like, well, I won't bother you anymore. I'm like, do you want me in your life? Well, of course I do. So stop this behavior. I get you have stuff to work on, but this can't continue constantly. You are psyching yourself out. You are trying to ruin yourself from having a positive relationship. You need to work on yourself. I said, I will be there if you need me. You know, we live so close together. I think we have great compatibility. We're great, you know, good friendship. But you can't keep stringing somebody along. He says, well, I'm not stringing along. I'm like, but that's what you do. Every time you make a date and cancel. You get me hyped up. And literally a few weeks prior to that, the kids, you know, his kids and my kids were supposed to meet. My kids and I were ready. We're about to get out the door. And he canceled once again. And he doesn't see how it's affecting the other person. Now, it's quite possible, you know, situation with his ex-wife. Of course, I can't say much about it because I don't know her. But maybe she got fed up with him because she felt like he wasn't listening. And maybe, yeah, he has some mental health issues, like I said earlier. You know, clearly there's something going on. But I always tell people, I'm always going to be your friend. I will support you if you ever need me. I will be there for you 100% because that's the kind of person I am. That's what introverts/empaths are. We are kind people. We wear our hearts on our sleeve. So with that said, happy 2025. I got rid of the toxic things in my life from 2024. 2024 was a toxic year. You know, it was a whole election situation. The woke people have definitely come out of the woodworks with their podcasts and their videos or vlogs, which has been interesting. Some of it's funny. I think the no sex thing for 4 years is silly. I mean, I've been single for a long time. Trust me, it's not worth it. A lot of us aren't getting laid anyway. So, and they're shaving their hair blue, and it's like the whole thing is just crazy. So at the end of the day, be you, do you, and shine. And if you got shit in your mind, talk about it. Don't keep it bottled up. And it takes a good person to listen to get you out of that system. And honestly, it's a laughable thing. It's like when when I'm 90 years old, like, oh yeah, I remember I got to, get in a relationship with my ex-crush. And then I spoke up about it. And then like he had turned the story around and make me look bad. I was the most hated person. And it's so stupid. Like, I'm tired of it. The thing is, they think that I was never going to have a voice. They thought like it would just move on from that. And I know they're pissed off. Okay. But my pen name had nothing to do with them. It had to do with me growing as a person. So they can fuck off. I'm done. The crap I've dealt with them for years. Okay. I'm done talking about them. It's done and over with. The karma is gone. Karma happened on 31st and it was beautiful. And you just move on from that. Heal. And so here I am. I am Salty Vixen, aka Rachel Kent. And I am going to enjoy my January 1st, 2025 of probably working on my site, maybe making a nice meal. My daughter's going to socialize with her friends. And yeah, I am going to make today amazing balls. Yes, I said amazing balls. I'm 45 going on 21, I think. All right, my lovies, I'm going to end this podcast. Hope you have a lovely day and happy new year, my loves. Bye.
Come and share with me. So let's chat about the highs, let's chat about the lows. In this cozy little corner, anything goes. Every sip tells a story, every word brings a smile. With every conversation, we'll go that extra mile.